This hand is still numb. Okay, getting right back to it. Provide a hand washing sink at the proposed beer and wine bar. I think I just showed you that. So we are advised A4. Revise equipment plan to properly illustrate equipment 1. Note the two equipment are different size. Revised A4. Because, excuse me. Let me open up another drawing that I was having. Found floor proposed. Yeah. This. Oh, and then this is a 5 feet on the Y, and now this is 5 feet on the Y. So now they're the same size. And so clarify if the wine display shelves used for decoration or for the storage of wine bottles. So okay, I'm pointing over here. That's the row. I know who drew this, and I'm not going to get angry. Okay, so overhead shelves. What we're going to do is, okay, the snap is on. Now you see why you don't want snaps on, so you can just control it. Overhead. Overhead. Wine. Relax. Hey, 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 hey. Re. Relax. Want to play with your friends? Go play. Worse than kids. Don't have kids. Okay, overhead wine display shelves and put that there. I'm gonna put this like this so it's completely not on top of another line. Pardon me, blow my nose. Let's see, that's they've been hiding behind the things though. Okay, wine storage slash display. Okay. For clean glasses, if wine and beer to be poured, provide a storage shelf. Okay. Overhead display shelves. Um, so what I'm going to do is um, 6 on there. Work top clean glass display. And I'm going to point that It's like a worktop refrigerator. Clean glass display. And so worktop is for clean glasses. Okay. Indicate all exposed bare wood will be covered with approved. All right, that's just a note. So now this is a proposed floor plan. See these legal descriptions, they don't belong here. Those belong on site plans. The thing is and this is, it's not a 1/4 inch. I don't think it is. I think this is an 1/8 inch. Find out right here. Oh, it's a 1/4 inch. Okay. Okay. Um, okay, so what was I doing? Indicate exposed bare wood. So note, make this a 12. Note, exposed bare wood. All exposed bare wood surfaces will be covered with approved, will be covered with approved FRP or stainless steel drywall with semi-gloss finish with semi-gloss, oops, yeah, finish or stainless steel. Okay. So there's that note. And I'm going to simply say C note. Say C note A for. So as we respond, now I haven't renamed this, but I'm going to rename it now. I'm going to save it. And I just call it response. Response. So it goes right next to that has the responses on it. Indicate all floor mounted equipment are on. Okay. All floor mounted equipment on 6-inch legs or casters. 6 legs or casters. And click off, stop typing spacebar to select. Just kind of a little bit like that. And then you flip back over here and you say C note. C note, now you can just clip that. Isn't this easy? Clarify if all work tables or countertop to be above the under counter. Work Let's say worktop fridges. Yes. All right, that is the first page of the corrections. Now we come to the second page, and we already did that because that was this opening here that we fixed with a swing door. And we can call this a pony wall. We can call this, you're that big. No, this fine. We'll say 44-inch by pony wall. Line there. Indicate all sinks and kitchen equipment on the plan. Okay, here is what I've been waiting to get to. So they want to know all that's in the kitchen. And that's where we have to turn to our photos of the place. And I think I gotta back all the way here. I remember that we got all these pictures. Okay. It's funny. I think I started in that shot. All right, so that's the restroom, the urinal. Is that what we have here? Well, he didn't ask for details of the restroom, but he just asked for kitchen. Okay. So, ice machine. I think that's a back door. Well, here's a back door. Back door, something to the right. So, back door, something to the right. Hmm. See a hand sink. Okay. Like, see this? I think that's this. To go to, is it a second side? No, that's the same thing. These sauces and shakers are these. And so, okay, that's the walk-in cooler. And then the hood's over here. So here's your walk-in cooler, there's your cooking hood. Okay. So across from the walk-in cooler, or right in front of the walk-in cooler is a sandwich prep table. So let's come over to the blocks, hit S for sandwich. And you see it's kind of got those two things. That's this one right here. And so, and that looks like a 5-footer. This one is too large. It's a 6-footer. So let's make that a 5-footer. And we're going to spin it 180. And it's basically in front of there. And what you're going to need is 3 feet between here and the cooking equipment, which we will paint it in a second. Now there is, see, here's a worktop refrigerator. See, there's cooling things there, and it's stainless steel on top. That's kind of what's going to be underneath the front. So that is over here. Let's move this kitchen out over there, because then we're going to do an under counter. I have it under counter cooler. I don't have a worktop thing, but it can represent the same thing. So this is in a 90 turn. Put, okay, let's snap it. Snap the back corner to here. Although it's more equal with the front. But actually that's about right because it's equal to the front of that. Okay, so that's that. So now let's, okay, so All right, so that's a stainless steel table with a top shelf. And it's basically here. And so, okay, so this is where a three comp sits. So let's say there's a three comp over here. There's a hand sink over here and a wall. And that's opposite the walk-in cooler. So it's, no, it wouldn't be there. Okay, I need to take a look here because something tells me this isn't not drawn completely right. Okay, because there's the walk-in cooler. Okay. Shakers, walk-in coolers over there. This is opposite the walk-in cooler. Oh, and there's a hand sink over here. See, there's the front of the store. This is the opening of the front of the store. It looks like, as I see, sunlight, and obviously it was being worked on at that point. That's the front door who's angled in. That's this front door. So, hmm. And yeah, there's that. Okay. Okay, so stainless steel table. Stainless steel table is going to be something like that. But that's already 30 inches. Let's make it 24. Nope. 24. Okay, so I'm going to, since it is sticking out that way, I'm going to guess it's even on that side. And look, see, there's sinks there. So maybe the three comp is over there. Here it looks like, oh, see those bottles and that sink? And then think this is, there's a room there. We're missing that. Oh no, it's here. Okay. So that view is this view here. So there's an ice. So obviously there's a three comp right around there. So hand sink here, this three comp, if it is there, it's going to end up moving down. Okay. So hand sink here, and there's always a hand sink by a three comp sink, so that makes sense. That's 90. Says it's right in the corner, but it's not supposed to be. So let's bring this down 18, because as you know, all hand sinks need to be on center. But now that tells me that this is an ice machine. There. So I for ice. I should get rid of that one. I never use it. The block that came in was somebody else's CAD. Like that. That looks about right, although it's more flush to the front. Okay. Control S. There's a stainless steel table there. Okay. Can't see, but there's got to be a three comp back there. Maybe we'll run into it later. Okay, so far we have all of this. Oh, that's the hood. This is the cooking hood. So there's prep tables here. That's here. Okay. So obviously there's 3 feet right there. So let me do a couple more prep tables. Yeah, they kind of have the things there. But you know what? I'm gonna use the other. There's a different kind of sandwich prep table. That's gonna be by me. And it seems to be pretty equal to the looks like there's a hand sink there. All right, so we're gonna go up, let's just say 24 inches. Come on. 24, enter. Another 24, enter. And not that far. Because it only goes to the top of here. And that's too much room for a hand sink. That's a hand sink right there. So let's pull out another hand sink. This is why we take videos and photographs. Uh, 18. It's right next to the closer to. And yes, I haven't drawn the clearance, but I can. We don't need that crazy ass thing. We do need that. We need 48 by 30. We need two of those. Copy, paste. Change the snap. Put that about there. Click this one. Change the snap. You know, that's the letter D. You grab it kind of like that. That shows the clearance in front of them. This might be longer, who knows? So I actually could go past it. So there's now a stainless steel table up here and a fridge. So let's say S for stainless steel table, put that in the corner. It doesn't look that thick, so I'm going to say it's a 24 incher. 24. God dang. 24 inches. And then there's like a cooler there. Is it one door? Yeah, it's a single door. Type of 1 for one door fridge. It's facing the right way. It almost never happens. Put that there. Control S. Pots and pans over the cooking hood. There's your cooking line. So don't forget, this is just a fridge. 6. So it fits in there. Save. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the cooking line right now. One hand sink, yes, next to the cooking line. And there's that. There's your 3-comp sink. Sanitize, rinse, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, there's the opening. So there's got to be a food prep sink that this is draining to. That's your 3-comp. There's the hand sink way back there. So there's a stainless steel table and then a 3-comp. So hand sink. Let's put that there for now. Because we have a stainless steel table. It's basically 24 inches because that's how wide the 3-comp is. As you see, it's almost equal to the 3-comp. So change the snap on that, snap that to the corner there. We can highlight both of those and move on up. So boom, boom. I don't know why. That's that. There's an ice machine here, so it's probably draining to here. Maybe there's a food prep sink here, but I think it's shelving. Is there a dishwasher in there? Hey, so that's by a back door. My back door I show here is here. So utility. So then there's a dishwasher here. Okay, so there is a floor sink. F floor sink here. And we're going to say it's existing. What's the difference between a floor sink and a floor drain? Have you guys learned that yet? Because actually, there's probably a floor drain out there by the 3-comp sink, which I didn't even think to look for. Not. Now, what's supposed to drain there is a prep sink. So, where there's a prep sink in this area, there's a corner dishwasher. Wait, there's an opening. See back. Oh yeah, there's an opening by the back door, and that's just storage. So it's storage in there. Yep, just storage shelves. I'm trying to find the food prep sink. Ice machine. 3-comp. Comp. Shelves. That's either a mop sink or a food prep sink. Where is this? It could be a food prep sink if that's a stainless steel table next to it. Oh, wait a second. That's by the front door. So that's actually here. So there's a sink right before that guy, but there's no floor sink in that area. And then this comes out to the front. And those are photos of the front. There's a restroom. There's a beer keg. So there's got to be a floor sink somewhere that this is going to drain to. And there's got to be a floor sink over here because that's a espresso machine. That's got to drain to a floor sink. And then we have patio photographs. I think these are the end of the photographs. Yeah. All right. So there are some unknowns. There's a dishwasher here. Could be a prep sink. Didn't look like it. That would go to this. And there's a sink here, which could be. Okay, so there's. I'm getting my bearing where things are. See, I think I want to say I wish there was a prep sink on this side. There's a floor sink, but that's drained too. Unless they're using that as a prep sink. You can if it's next to a dishwasher. There's a floor drain. That's supposed to be by the 3 comp. Okay. So, so here, there's that. Then there's a little stainless steel table. Then that sink. Okay, so that's this area. So there's a real small stainless steel table. Let's say it's 24 by 24. And then put that here. And then camo. Then I'm going to put a mop sink. So this is a mop sink. It's 24 by 24. But a sink next to a stainless steel table can qualify for a food prep sink. But there's still got to be a floor sink there for it to drain to, which I don't see. But all these photos are not that revealing. Okay. So here's a floor drain over here. That's supposed to be by the 3 comp sink. And this needs to drain to a floor sink. That's going direct. So there might be a floor sink over here. That would make sense because I think this is that where that beer keg is. So there's probably a floor sink here the beer keg is draining to, and this is draining to. There's a lot more it's got to drain. So, okay. I'm going to, yeah, 33 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up for now because I have to get ready to go see a client in the field. So I'm going to wrap this up later to finish the dishwasher, stuff like that. Then I got to get this to one of my coworkers so we can go down there and get the last few details. And right now, that's not enough room. So let's see. That's something else that we have to always do is dimension, especially in the kitchen, so we know where we do or don't have room. So that's 4'6", so you can move this over 1'6" minus 1'6.25. So if I'm correct, this is now, shit, where'd I go? If I'm correct, this is now 3 feet. Yep. But does that make this 3 feet? Let's see. 1 inch. So we'll just have to squish something an inch and or double click that and just go 3 feet and oops, 3 feet. And you change it to 3 feet. Although you'd want to make it look like that. So you want to go 3 feet 0 inches. So it looked just like that one. And you're like, look, you got 3 feet on both sides. All right. That's it for now.